Welcome, welcome, greetings, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you are. Welcome to today's broadcast. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, your why and soul purpose coach and consultant. And as always, it is a pleasure for me to be here with you this morning. When I work with my clients, I work with my clients to help them connect with their why and their soul purpose. I help them to build and to develop themselves, to be empowered and to be transformed. And for some, they are off focus, so we work to get them back on track. This broadcast, we're going to be talking about building resilience as you strengthen your bounce back ability. Building resilience as you strengthen your bounce back ability. And before I go into the research and teaching of this morning, I want to go ahead and welcome the people on Facebook and LinkedIn. And if you are not subscribing to my YouTube, please go ahead and do that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Subscribe to my newsletter on daphneclarke.com. And this way you will avail yourself to all of my content that is posted on my YouTube channel. All of the teachings that I do here are uploaded to YouTube. So even if you miss it live, you can get it on YouTube. The other thing I want to let you know is that at around about 6:30 or thereabout, we will be doing the water therapy. So please get your water and have it available for when we are ready to go. I want to welcome everyone to the broadcast on all of the platforms. Welcome on Facebook, welcome on LinkedIn, welcome on YouTube, and also welcome on TikTok. Before I get into the teaching this morning, I want to just share something personal with you guys. My cousin, one of my cousins, I got a devastating call last night while I was doing my Thursday night broadcast. I got a call that my cousin Evelyn lost her only son who died suddenly in Jamaica. So I ask that you send positive energy and love to my cousin Evelyn. I spoke with her last night, and she was just devastated because she lives here in the United States and her son lives in Jamaica. And they spoke yesterday, and within a couple hours, the call she got was that her son died. So please send love for my cousin. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with everyone this morning. Okay, so again, the topic for this discussion this morning is building resilience as you strengthen your bounce back ability. Let me tell you, hey Sally, greetings. How are you, Queen? This topic is very personal to me. Building resilience and bounce back ability is very personal to me. And you're probably asking, why is this personal? And I'm going to take this time before I go into the research and the teaching to share a portion of my personal story with you on all of the platforms. Those of you who are part of my community for a long time, you probably know others. It might be news to you. But I figure this is a good time to share that portion of my story with you. So you will know too that not only am I sharing with you the research that I chose, but I'm sharing with you my personal story. Love you too, Sally. When I moved to Connecticut in the early 90s, I moved there with the intention to start a business with a company that I had gone through the training with in New York, and they promised you to open a distribution center for you. And when I went to Connecticut, what was promised was not there. I called up the corporate office that was in New York, out in Hicksville, to make arrangements for the manager to come up and to pay for the office, because the money was in escrow. I don't know if anybody remember a company called Centura Creation. The money was in escrow to start each location. They used to be selling the perfume, that knockoff perfume that you used to peddle on the street. And part of it was that you would sell the perfume, and whatever you sold every day, 50% would be for you, and the other 50% would go to the office you are working out of. Well, to our surprise, our meaning, the gentleman that I was going into business with, his name was Neville. We went to the training together and we chose each other to go into business with. He was going to college and I was already a working person. And when we got there to Connecticut, we noticed every time we found an office location and run ads to find people to work for us, and when we would call down to New York for the manager to come up and meet with the real estate people, he always had some excuse why he could not make it. Greetings, greetings, and welcome to everyone on Facebook. And when we went back down there, unannounced, we found out that the monies that was supposed to be in escrow for us to open our location to continue this business was not there. Every dime was frozen because his wife and he was going through a divorce. And little did we know that his wife had control over that business too. So because of that dispute, all the funds that was in the escrow for us was now frozen as part of that asset. And it ended up that I found myself homeless while we are there waiting to get this money to start our business. And the gentleman that I was going to share that office with, he said, you know, I'm going back to my sister and I'm going back to school because I don't think we are going to ever get this money to start this business. And I'm sharing this portion of my story with you because it has to do with resilience and bounce back ability. And while he went back to New York to be with his family and to go back to Hofstra University, that's where he was attending school, I remained with my 9-year-old son in Connecticut, a portion of it because there was no revenue coming in. I was homeless and we had to live in a shelter. However, I did not give up. I said to myself, we are going to make this. And it's devastating. And I had to be persevering. I had to press through. And I am here today to share this story with you and to let you know that resilience is possible. Bounce back ability is possible, so long as you do not give up on yourself. And it's interesting, they always say how things affect children. Because this time, when I was relocating again, my son was not very happy. As a matter of fact, he got into a bit of anxiety because what happened, he said, Ma, I'm reliving what happened to you when we moved from New York to Connecticut. And I said, what do you mean? And he went through the whole incident. And I said to him, I understand and I respect that. However, this time I'm on a divine assignment. I said to my son, I am on a divine assignment and I'm not depending on people to compensate me with what I thought I had set aside with them to do what I'm doing. I said to my son, this time, Javonte, is different from the first time when I had worked for over 9 months and accumulated funds by peddling perfumes on the street and have money in escrow that should have set my business up and to show up and to be dealt a wrong card because that money was not there for me. I said, this time, my son, it is different. I said, this time, I am on a divine assignment. I'm following through on my why and soul purpose. This time it's the universe and I. So although it triggers in you what mommy went through so many years ago, I say you can rest assured this time is different. And I say, you know that the universe has my back. So just believe that this is possible for you too. So let us go into this research and this teaching for today. Building resilience as you strengthen your bounce back ability. And I want to start off with a favorite quote. I know every one of us always uses this story sometime or another. I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And I'm sure if I ask you, who is that quote from? I know that everyone says, if you said Thomas Edison, you're absolutely right. Thomas Edison is an American inventor. So everything happened in our lives. We learn from. That's right. Thank you so very much. Yes. And this is why I shared this portion of my story on this particular live, because I know that somebody will be able to learn from it. According to legend, Thomas Edison made thousands of prototypes of the incandescent light bulb before he finally got it right. And since the prolific inventor was awarded more than 1,000 patents, it's easy to imagine him failing on a daily basis in his lab at Menlo Park. In spite of struggle with failure throughout the entire working life, Edison never let it get the best of him. All of these failures, which are reported to be in the tens of thousands, simply showed him how to invent something. His resilience gave the world some of the most amazing inventors of the early 20th century, such as the phonographic of the telegraph and the motion picture. It's hard to imagine that our world would be like if Edison had given up after his first few failures. His inspiring story forces us to look at our own lives. Do we have the resilience that we need to overcome our challenges? Or do we let our failures derail our dreams? And what would we accomplish if we had the strength not to give up? In this research, we will examine resilience, what it is, why we need it, and how to develop it so that we have the strength and fortitude to overcome adversity and to keep on moving forward towards our dreams and our goals. Now, Tom, my struggles and your struggles and adversities can't even measure up to 1/4 of what Thomas Edison have gone through. So, who dare us to be quitting on our dreams in the middle? Who dare us? I know I share my story, part of my story. I can't afford to quit, guys. There are many people who look at me and say, at your age, you're rooting up to go to somewhere new. And I can't afford to quit because I am on a divine assignment. And as you are listening, many of you too are probably on some new divine assignment. I'm telling you, put earplugs in, put blinders on so that the naysayers will not get you to quit. All right? So let us continue with this research. The importance of resilience. Resilience or resiliency is our ability to adapt and bounce back when things don't go as planned. Resilient people don't wallow or dwell on failures. They acknowledge the situation, learn from their mistakes, and move forward. According to this research of the leading psychologist Susan Kobasa, there are 3 elements that are essential to resilience. 3 elements, guys. And if I were you, I would jot these down on my notes. The first element is challenge. Resilient people view a difficulty as a challenge, not as a paralyzing event. They look at their failures and mistakes as lessons to be learned from and as opportunity for growth. They don't view them as a negative reflection of their ability or their self-worth. Number 2, commitment. Resilient people are committed to their lives and their goals, and they have a compelling reason to get out of bed in the morning. Commitment isn't just restricted to their work. They commit to their relationships, their friendships, and causes they care about, and their religious and spiritual beliefs. So if you have ever gone through a situation where you had to build on your resilience and strengthen your bounce back ability, I'm sure you can relate with these 2 elements. Because once you're going through a stage of resilience, you cannot afford to be wallowing in self-pity. You have to have strong faith and belief. You got to get up every day and you got to be your own cheerleader. You can't be waiting around to get people to tell you, Daphne, you got to do, and Daphne, you got to do, and Daphne, you got to do. Because guess what? Many of those people are just sitting. You are on a mission. Whatever you come on earth to accomplish will be done. Nothing more and nothing less. Whatever was meant for you, no one can't take it away. Keep up the good work. God is good. Thank you so much. That was written by one of my friends and supporters over on Facebook. Thank you so very much. And that is such an affirmation that she wrote that. Because even in our own families, sometimes your spouses will not be there for you during your time when you need resilience. They are looking and they're saying, well, let me see how many more times he or she is going to fail again. Let me just look and see. So you got to be there for yourself. You got to be tooting your own horn. You got to have the faith in yourself every day to get up. As you see the rising of the sun, you say, let me get up. And the third element here that Dr. Susan gave is personal control. Personal control. Resilient people spend their time and energy focusing on situations and events that they have control over. Because they put their efforts where they have the most impact. They feel empowered and confident. Those who spend time worrying about uncontrolled events can often feel lost, hopeless, and powerless to take action. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Worry gets us nowhere. Have you ever found yourself in a state of worrying? It weakens you. It brings on panic attacks. Your heart is racing. The palm of your hands is cold and clammy. You are weak. You have no enthusiasm, no zeal for life, because worry robs you from all of that. You got to get yourself in the mode where you can build your resilience and strengthen your bounce back ability. There is another portion of the research here by Dr. Martin Seligman, and he says, another leading psychologist, Martin Seligman, says, the way that we explain setbacks to ourselves is also important. He talks in terms of optimism and pessimism rather than resilience. However, the effects is essentially the same. This explanatory style is made up of 3 elements. So, I'm excited that I am sharing this scientific research because although there are 2 different psychologists using 2 different definitions, you can listen and see how everything went in full circle and came back to the same thing. Again, he gave 3, and I'm going to call his the 3 P's. And his first P is permanence. People who are optimistic and therefore have more resilience sees the effects of bad events as temporary rather than permanent. For instance, they might say, my boss didn't like the work I did on that project. Rather, that my boss never liked my work. You see, putting things in perspective. Those of you who have been part of my community for a while, you know that I talk about rewriting the script of your life. And how do we do that? Through the words that comes out of our mouths. Through the words that comes out of our mouth. It is 6:31. Please get your waters together. I'm going to share one more of his points, and then we're going to do the water therapy, and then I'll come back to finish up this. His second point is perseverance. 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 Sometimes I'm wrapping up my tongue around these words here. Pervasiveness. Resilient people don't let setbacks or bad events affect their unrelated area of their lives. For instance, they would say, I'm not very good at this, rather than I'm no good at anything. You see the difference? It's all in our attitude. How do we view things? How do you see things? You got to put things in the right perspective. All right. So guys, let us do the water therapy now. Do we have any moderators over on TikTok? Do we have a moderator? Do you want to do the water therapy now, or do you want me to go until 6:45? All right, let me go. I'm going to go until 6:45. I see my friend from Ethiopia. I don't see any moderators. All right, let me continue, and we will do the water therapy at 6:45. Then the third element from Dr. Martin is personalization. Personalization. People who have resilience don't blame themselves when bad things occur. Instead, they say They see other people or the circumstances as the cause. For instance, they might say, I didn't get the support I needed to finish that project successfully, rather than I messed that project up because I can't do my job. In our expert interview with Dr. Carl Crow, the co-founder of program director of the Center of Learning Connection, Dr. Crow identifies several featuring attributes to the common resilient person. Resilient people have a positive image of the future. That is, they maintain a positive outlook and envision brighter days ahead. Resilient people have solid goals and a desire to achieve those goals. Resilient people are empathetic and compassionate. However, they don't waste time worrying what others think of them. They maintain healthy relationships but don't bow down to peer pressure. Resilient people never think of themselves as victims. They focus their time and energy on changing the things that they do not have control over. How we view adversity and stress strongly affects how we succeed. And this is one of the most significant reasons that having a resilient mindset is important. In fact, the fact is that we are going to fail from time to time. It's inevitable. Part of living that we make mistakes and occasionally fail flat on our faces. The only way to avoid this is to live in a sheltered and meager existence, never trying anything new or taking a risk on yourself. Few of us want that life. Few of us, we always want to take risk on ourselves. Instead, we should have the courage to go after our dreams, despite the very real risk that we will fail in some way or another. Being resilient means that when we do fail, we bounce back. We have the strength to learn the lesson we need to learn, and we can move on to bigger and better things. Overall, resilience gives us the power to overcome setbacks so that we can live the life we always want to live. Isn't that okay? We are at 7:39. No, okay, excuse me. We are at 6:39. Please let us go and do the water therapy now. So get your water. Bless your water. Ask for what it is that you need from your water. Are you looking for healing, clarity, strength, whatever it is that you need? Please go ahead and ask for your water. Supercharge your water. For those of you who are new to the community, the water therapy is when you empower your water and you drink it and you get the positive result that you request from it. Get rid of pain because water is energy. Water holds the energy. Because of the fluidity and the liquidities, it can go through our entire bodies and go into every fiber, every nucleus, every cell in our body, all of our organs, and it can enhance our health. Water is extremely powerful. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research and see the spiritual benefits of water. Water can go exactly to anything that is lurking in our bodies and can heal that situation and can flush all of that out of our bodies. So stay committed to it. Do your journaling so you can track what it is you're working on as you begin to do your water therapy. Whether you're on here on the lives in the morning or not, I highly recommend that you do your water therapy every day. For those who have situation with commitment, my recommendation is you take your glass of water in your bedroom at nights when you're going to bed. Put it on your nightstand so when you wake up in the morning, it is right there for you. And you can go ahead and bless your water. Ask for what it is you want. Clarity, healing, strength of muscles and organs, flexibility, mobility, remove purity. For those who are on medication, ask that the water will enhance your medication. And if there are any side effects, that the water will counteract it before it affects the rest of your health. So whatever it is you need from your water, please go ahead, let your request be known, and then we will drink it. So go ahead. Now, those of you on TikTok who is participating, go ahead and put ready in the box so we can go ahead and do the water therapy, and then we continue with the teaching. All right? So you okay? Let's go. Let's drink. It is finished. Thanks to everyone who participated in the water therapy. So we are at 6:44. Let us finish up this teaching. And please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on Facebook. Sign up for my newsletter by visiting daphneclarke.com. All of the content that I do here is on my YouTube channel. So please go there and visit me and subscribe and to share it with others as well. Now, let's wrap this up. Those of you that just joined, we are talking about building resilience and strengthening your bounce back ability. Building resilience as you strengthen your bounce back ability. 10 ways to build resilience. The good news is that even if you are not a natural resilient person, you can learn to develop a resilient mindset and attitude. To do so, incorporate the following into your daily life. Welcome on Facebook. Thank you for the feedback over there. Thank you for your participation. Please let me know who you are and where you're joining me from this morning. All right. First, learn to relax. When you take care of your mind and body, you are better able to cope effectively with challenges in your life. Develop a good sleep routine. Try out new exercises or use physical relaxation technique like deep breathing or meditation. Practice thought awareness. Resilient people don't let negative thoughts derail their efforts. Instead, they consistently practice positive thinking. This means listening to how you talk to yourself when something goes wrong. If you find yourself making statements like that are permanent, pervasive, or personalized, correct these thoughts in your mind. Edit your outlook. Practice cognitive restructuring to change the way that you think about negative situations and bad events. Learn from your mistakes and failures. Every mistake has the power to teach you something important. So look for the lesson in every situation. Also, make sure that you understand the idea of past traumatic growth. Often, people find that crisis solutions, such as a job loss or the breakdown of a relationship, allow them to reevaluate their lives and make positive changes. Choose your responses. Remember, we all have experienced bad days, and we all go through our share of crisis. But we have to notice, but we have the choice, in how we respond. We can choose to react with panic or negativity, or we can choose to remain calm and logic to find the solution. Your action is always up to you. Maintain perspective. Resilient people understand that although a situation or crisis may seem overwhelming in the moment, it may not make that much of an impact over the long term. Try to avoid blowing events out of proportion. Set yourself some goals. If you don't already learn to set smart, effective personal goals that match your values and that can help you to learn from your experiences. Build your self-confidence. Remember, resilient people are confident that they are going to succeed eventually, despite the setback or stresses that they might be facing. The belief in themselves also enables them to take risks. When you develop confidence and a strong sense of self, you have the strength to keep moving toward and to take the risk you need to get ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Somebody on Facebook said words of wisdom. Develop strong relationships. People who have strong connections at work are more resilient to stress, and they are happier in their role. This also goes to your personal life, and more real friendships and develop, the more resilient you are going to be, because you have this strong support network to fall back on. Remember that treating people with compassion and empathy is very important here. Be flexible. Resilient people understand that things changes and that careful made plans may occasionally needed to be amended or scrapped. And this is where I will end this discussion this morning. And as we went through this, it became evident to me that I'm sure this research did not show us anything new. It showed us from 3 different psychologists how we can put things in different perspective to end up at the same result. So, resilience, my brothers and my sisters, is important. And as you listen to this, I hope you can relate to Me when I say all of my connections are friends and family members. I am in building relationships because my investment in each and every person who comes here and listen to me, for each and every person who donates $1 to my Cash App, to each and every person who takes the time to write a comment onto one of my videos, to each and every person who taps the screen to give me likes, to each and every person who shares my videos, to each and every person who say to somebody, listen, you got to go listen to that lady when she goes live. You are so important to me. You are so important to me. For each and every one of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel, who subscribe to my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Clapper, my Clubhouse. For each and every one of you, there is no me without you. I'm only as knowledgeable, I am only as wise, I am only as committed as you allow me to be. I'm only as empowered, I am only as transformed as you allow me to be. So, as I wrap up this broadcast this morning, I thank you for showing your support for all the people on Facebook and LinkedIn and StreamYard and all the other platforms, TikTok, and wherever you're joining me from this morning. Thank you for waking up this early, wherever you are, to be here with me. I do not take it lightly. For all the love and support, thank you. You are blessed, Daphne. It's only one you. I love you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. I'm 73. And I decided, yes, I'm stepping out and I'm accepting this new divine assignment. Although there are many who said, what are you doing? You're crazy at your age. But still, there were many who said, yes, if there's anybody that can do it, you can. Resilience. We're talking about resilience. We are talking about strengthening your bounce back ability. Where are you on the spectrum? Where do you find yourself? Do you love yourself enough to invest in you? Do you love yourself enough to say, let me redesign and follow through on what it is I'm called to do? I am on a mission. Good morning, Queen. I've subscribed, Justin. Good morning, Justin. Thank you, King. Thank you. Are you committed to yourself? Are you saying to myself, I know I have the resilience in me, regardless of where I've been before. I know I have some things to give birth to. I know I have been pregnant with big dreams and visions. There are some of you who have been thinking about inventing things, creating things, and you are so afraid because you have not been encouraged over your life. Allow me to walk with you. Allow me to come into your life and to support you. Pick up your phone and text me so you can get an appointment with me that I can guide you through this. My services are not free. It takes an investment. So invest in yourself. Allow me to help you because you deserve to give birth to that thing that you were brought to the universe for. No matter what you have been told before, this is your time. Pick up the phone and text me. 203-885-5093. Text me. You can start with an intuitive reading. You can say, I know that I need coaching and mentoring and guidance. However, you got to pick up the phone and make that call. Stop putting yourselves last. Stop putting yourself last. Put yourself on the top level because that's where you belong. You have been in labor for a long time. You have been pregnant for a long time. It's time to deliver. It is time to deliver. Pick the phone up. Text me. Let us get on the phone. Let me help you. Reach out. You deserve it. You have been looking after everybody for a long time. It's time to look after you. It is time. Don't die and leave this world without giving birth to what you're called to do. It's time. You have been pregnant for way too long. It's time to deliver. It is time to deliver. Time to deliver, guys. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, do that so you can gain access to all of this content. And if you don't watch or listen to any other ones, watch this resilience because you deserve resilience. You deserve to strengthen your bounce back ability. Regardless of what you have gone through, you did not go through that for any reason other than to be resilient. Strengthen your bounce back ability. You're stronger than you ever think you was. Know that things happen in your life for a reason. Build your bounce back ability. You can bounce back. You can bounce back. No matter what happened. Take the time. Identify. Learn the lesson so you can strengthen your bounce back ability. It might be a job, it might be a relationship, regardless of what it is. I've been through it, guys. I've been through it all. I've lost my home to foreclosure. I've been homeless. I've been through it all. I've been hospitalized. I've had small intestines obstruction. I've had stroke. And look at me. I am here sharing all of these things with you. I've had a divorce. I'm here talking to you now. I bounced back. My resilient muscles has been rebuilt. And I don't know why. I don't know why the Spirit have me here talking about this still. Because there's somebody that needs to hear this. Whether they are listening on the live or on the replay. You can bounce back. You are resilient. You are much more resilient than you ever imagined you would be. Daphne, can I donate to your Cash App? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Justin. It's okay, I will write it. Let me write it in here. I don't know if you're on my TikTok. So let me write it in here. Thank you, Justin. I'm going to put it in the chat here. I'm coming over to I am coming over to TikTok in a minute, guys. Just the Spirit have me here working on this, and I don't know why. However, I need to be obedient and just linger because somebody needs to hear this. And I need there is my Cash App. There is my Cash App, Justin. And thank you. So, I don't know who it is. I don't know. Oh, I'm on TikTok. Okay. All right, Justin. Thank you for being on TikTok and also on my Facebook. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so very much. Are you on TikTok now? Because once I close over here on Facebook, I'm going over to TikTok. So if you want to come in the box over there for us to chat. Daphne, can I? Yes. So again, be resilient, guys. Please don't give up on yourself. Don't you for one moment think you're going to give up on yourself. I shared at the beginning of the live about my cousin that lost her only son. And when I called her last night, the first thing out of her mouth was, "Cuz, I failed my son." I said, no, don't you for one moment say that. Don't for one moment say that. You have not failed your son. No, don't you even think that. And I had to spend the time with her working through that thought. I was able to get her to cancel the statement she had made. I say, you gave him life. You brought him in this world. So how could you have failed him? And I was able to walk her through that and to get her to understand that she did not fail him. Not because he lives in Jamaica and she lives in the United States. She said, this morning, can you let me know if you receive my donation? Okay, give me a minute, Justin. Let me I got to go on my phone. Just give me a minute. I was able to walk my cousin through last night and to let her know that She did not fail her son. Regardless of what happened, she said she talked to him. She said she talked to him yesterday, maybe 2 hours before he passed. She talked to him. Yes, Justin, thank you very much. I appreciate your donation. Thank you. And she said, you know, cause when I talk to my son, we had such a good time. I talked to him. And then couple hours after that, the next call she got is that he died. She called him, spoke to him. He said that he was going to get his prescription filled. He just went and got his COVID result. He was negative. And in a couple hours after that, he died. I said, no, you didn't fail your son. And she began because although he's my cousin, second cousin, I had not met him because they're younger and they live in Jamaica. I did not meet him. I said, tell me about your son. And she told me and she said, it hit everybody so hard because everybody loves Ian, she said. And I said to her, your Ian is not physically here. And I went through some steps with her, how to communicate with her son. And I'm sharing this because before I hung up the phone with her, she could feel some peace, just knowing that her son is still around her. She said, cause we were laughing and talking this morning. So be resilient in whatever you do. Live each day to the fullest because guess what? Right now, you and I, we are on this broadcast. We don't know what will happen. Now is the only time that we have. The present. The present. So let us be resilient. Let us be resilient. Let us be resilient in whatever we do. Let us be resilient. Know that you have the ability to bounce back regardless of what you go through. You have the ability to bounce back. So you can't see yourselves as failures or losers. Step back, learn the lesson, and build your bounce back ability. We only get one life. Exactly. We got to cherish it. You are so right, Justin. Well, as I say, I don't know why I had to linger on to share this part, but I want to tell you, keep building your resilience. Keep strengthening your bounce back ability because only you can do what it is that you need for you. Love you guys. I'll see you guys over on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. I will see you on the next broadcast. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you, Justin, for the donation. Thank everyone who showed up on the broadcast this morning. And I look forward to seeing you again. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, your Why and Soul Purpose coach and consultant. And remember, pick up the phone and text me so that I can work with you. Love you guys. All right. Thank you so very much.